World Aeropress Championship, a competition where thousands of coffee legends come together and compete with and against each other to make the best cup of coffee they've ever made. I won the Indian Aeropress Championship and represented India at the World Aeropress Championship in South Korea back in 2017. It's 2021 now, and we have once again the opportunity to represent our country in the coffee capital of the world, Melbourne, Australia. So let's get ready for that. So this video is for people who have never made an AeroPress, and also for the people who make the AeroPress, and also for the people who make the AeroPress daily and cup the coffee every single day. So we're gonna cover the entire content for everybody, say from a beginner to a person who brews a coffee every single day. So let's begin with somebody who has just bought an AeroPress, or maybe bought an AeroPress earlier but not used it, but now started using it, and you're hesitating in competing. Trust me, don't hesitate, just go for it. It's a very lively championship. You will love the experience, and there is no qualification that you need to be in the championship. So just pick up your AeroPress and be at the venue. That's about it. So for somebody like this person who's like just new, for you I'm going to tell you what exactly it takes. It takes this, not this, but an AeroPress with you, and you will be receiving the coffee at least 7 days before, or you got to collect it from the venue, the coffee that will be at the championships. Now what do you do with that is you start basically brewing a coffee in this. If you don't know how to brew a coffee in this, or if you've never made the coffee in this, just go down to the link. We've got an AeroPress video that we shot a while back, and we'll put up a link over there. So that thing is for you. Now after that, what happens is once you started brewing the coffee, you might stumble upon World AeroPress winning championship recipes. I would strongly recommend, do not copy that, do not ape that, because the coffee was different. A lot of things were different. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some reference points from that and start playing with the ratios, the grind size, the temperature, the agitations, the recipes, bypassing, adding more hot water, adding less hot water. All these things you will be starting to do with. Whenever you're making a recipe, make sure that you have your note written. That's a very, very critical point, that you have your pointers written as to what you have made and what are the effective variables you have changed. And once you have come down and zeroed down over the recipe, try to make the same coffee again and again, at least 2-3 times. That is how you start making an AeroPress and start fixating on a recipe. Now remember one thing, extremely important. This recipe that you finalized, most certainly you might have to change, and you might have to be very smart at the venue. I'll tell you the reason. It could happen that the recipe that you're following and the taste that is coming out could be pretty much similar to the people who are brewing at the venue. You don't want that to happen, so you got to be smart enough to understand how to tackle that, for which we will be moving to part 3 of the video. What do you do at the venue? But right now it's all about what do you do with this if you are starting out as a person who just bought an AeroPress. Now let's move on to the second person who's basically have had the AeroPress for a while, been brewing it with it every single day, and also knows how to cup. How do you move to the next level? Again, you've got the coffee, and if I was you, I would cup it every single day, with every single time I get a chance to do that. The reason is I'll get to know what are the tasting notes of this coffee. So remember this thing, whenever you get a coffee at the championships, there are certain things which are little tricky. For example, when in 2017 at the AeroPress Championship, I had received a dark roasted coffee, a super dark roasted coffee, and all I needed to see was what kind of coffee do I bring out from this. Similar thing could happen. You might get a super light roasted coffee which is fruity and all those things. So you need to understand what is the potential, the best potential of the coffee. What is the best that you can squeeze out of that coffee. But at the same time, again, remember this thing, you might have to change your recipe at the venue. Just keep that in your mind. Do not fixate on a recipe, and do not think that no, I have practiced this, so this is the only thing I'm going to do at the venue as well, because there will be like 50 or 100 other cups which might be tasting the same like yours. Yes, there got to be a differentiating factor in the cup that you brew for a championship, but in a good way, in a very better way than the other cup. So for that, keep a margin for you to keep adjusting the variables, alright? Second thing, for the person who has got their press brews every day and cups every day, as I said, cupping becomes super important. Keep cupping, because the judges are going to cup the coffee. And then moving on to the third category, who basically cups every single day and brews coffee every single day, buys a lot of coffee from different roasters and is used to it. My recommendation to you guys, whoever is brewing coffee every single day with an AeroPress, with different roasters, with different coffees, might have heard of a refractometer. You are allowed to use a refractometer in Championship as a data analysis or data point for you to find out what is the sweet spot. Is it what I want? Or should I bypass a little bit more water? Should I add a little bit more hot water without it touching the coffee? So start using a refractometer. That will be really great. You can use a lot of equipments if you have a groove sifter so that you can have equal grind size. Also, another very important point for all three people. Whenever you get a coffee bag, ensure you hand pick it. At times, if I am the roaster, I'll on purpose put a black bean, a sour bean, or any bean which is not good, just to see who is careful about picking out the bad bean. That's super important. So open the bag, alright, and start hand sorting the coffee. It's very critical. Start hand sorting the coffee and pick out only those coffee beans which you want. There will be small broken triangle blah beans that could be on purpose also spiked in, so that we get to know, or the judges get to know, what kind of coffee you don't want to present. So start segregating that out and chuck it out, alright? Very important. And then you've got a groove sifter at your, if you have that, bring it to the venue. Use that for the grind size. You can use the refractometer to find out what coffee do you want. You can also bring your own water, by the way. Again, we're going to reconfirm on to that if you can this year or not. But yeah, you can get your own water to the venue. So do all these things for the person who's been doing this for a very long time. You can also use different filters for the AeroPress. So you got a paper filter. Usually you get a paper filter. You can use two paper filters. You can use a mesh filter as well. Now for the regionals, I'll tell you one thing. What happened was about the filter. So we received a medium dark roast for the regionals, and what I saw was everybody pressing it down through the paper filter, and it was coming a little bit lighter in body. I wanted to present a little heavy bodied coffee just so that it is different in a better way. So I used a mesh filter. Luckily I had a mesh filter over there with me, and I used a mesh filter, made an entire recipe and blah blah, and then push it down, and it gave a little heavier palate. But you got to remember that the finish has to be soft so that it's got a great aftertaste. So that's why I used a mesh filter. So you can also do that. Just have that presence of mind at the venue, who's doing what and what do you want to present, without making it too complex for you or confusing for you. So everybody is getting the same coffee. Same coffee everybody's getting. So it's about making it good, making it different. As simple as that. Yeah. It's as simple as that. You've received a bag of your coffee, alright? What do you make out of that? Alright? So as I said earlier, there could be a chance that the roaster on purpose must have spiked that coffee with a little bit of defect. Could be a chance. It happens. It's a very normal thing because it's about championship judging and all. Open the bag, sort it out, find out what kind of beans are there, which you don't want in the cup, the non-desirable coffee beans. And then once you look at the roasted coffee, you'll kind of understand as to if it is light, medium, dark. First of all, you've sorted it out, you weighed it in, and now you basically start tasting the coffee actually. You start brewing the coffee. Also for somebody who's starting out, who understands coffee in a French press, let's say, or in a drip, or you've been drinking coffee by just boiling the water and adding coffee, do that. Whatever is your comfort level, start with that, alright, so that you understand what this coffee is about. Remember, this coffee has nothing to do with if you like it or not. There's nothing to do with that, because as I said earlier, I keep saying I got dark roasted coffee. I don't like that. So it's nothing to do with what I like or what I don't like. It is about what is the best you can brew that day, which is different and is good. Brew it in the way that you've always been brewing at home, and you get familiarized with that. That's about it. That's the most important thing. So you have sorted it out, you brewed it in the way which basically you understand the most. Not necessarily you go for the AeroPress, and then you move to brewing the AeroPress. That's how you basically take it ahead. To break down this step a little bit more, I would like to add one more point, which is basically with the same coffee, try to bring out the acidic side of that, try to bring out the dark side of that, try to bring a balanced cup in that. How do you do that? Is by understanding the variables in coffee and noting it down. So in my ammunition at the championship, what will happen is I know this coffee, how do I bring out the fruity flavors from it. I know how to bring the nutty, chocolatey flavors from it, and I also know how to make it bitter, which sometimes does work. So these three components you've got, and when you are at the venue, you'll kind of understand what kind of coffees people are brewing. Should I make it? Which spectrum should I lean towards? So just start making these three different recipes from the coffees that you've got. Another important point is that you can carry your own water at the venue. Make sure you empty the kettle at the venue and put down your water over there. But you can try out different recipes of water which suits this coffee. Also, when I talk about water, please make sure that you play with the temperature as much as you can. You can use different temperatures at the same coffee brewing as well. You can use 90 degrees Celsius, then you can use 50 degrees Celsius. All these things you can do. It makes a huge difference. I think this is the biggest difference that you can make. Alright. So have your own water. You can carry your own water. You can carry third wave water. You can carry perfect water as a sachet and then make your own water from over there. You can get water from Sizzlin or anywhere. You can do whatever you want. Alright. So water makes a huge difference. One very important point I really want to tell and stress upon is the fear of competing. Please don't be scared of getting into the competition. It is a very healthy competition. It does not matter if you're out in the first round. It does not matter if you are losing in the second round or whatever. Just be there. Just be at the venue. Just have that thing. The reason is that more people we all compete together, the level of coffee in India is going to go up and up and up. As simple as that, right? Because the competition, yes, even though it is chilled out, but more people joining hands and coming to a same point just brings more competition and a healthy competition. So remember, just don't be scared. Don't be thinking that I don't know how to make an AeroPress. Oh, there are so many people who are baristas who've been brewing coffees every single day. It does not matter, you know. Just be there at the venue, start competing. You never know, you might just crack the code and win it. So just be at the venue. Don't be scared of competition. It's a very healthy competition. You might be scared to enter the venue, but once you're in the venue, trust me, you're gonna love the entire vibe. There's a party going on and there's a championship going on. What better can you ask for? Alright, so we really hope that you share our YouTube channel and let as many people know about it. Like and subscribe, of course. And this was the second video of the series. The third one that we're gonna do is about what do you do at the venue and how the competition pressure sometimes eats you up, but it can bring the best out of you. And what do you do exactly at the venue when you are there, right, standing with your coffee and brewing your coffee, because a lot of things can go wrong. So we're going to talk about that in the third part of the video. So yeah, please share, subscribe and like the YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching so far.